بسم الله الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Brothers and sisters, we are back again to MYI Ramadan hour. We're doing the art project. It's all happening here right now. Okay, Jazakumullah khair for coming in and tuning in with us. We've got a fantastic show today, slightly different to what we've done before, because even though it is a follow along, there might be some stages that you might have to go off and do on your own, that you won't be able to follow along with me, but you can just watch it on YouTube, try to follow along as best you can. It's going to be loads of fun, inshallah. But before we get onto that, we need to go on to and look at our entries from last week's competition. So you remember last week, we had our modeling clay. Okay, so we showed you how to make simple base for modeling clay. And then you guys took that, you went off, you ran with it, and you came up with some fantastic ideas and some fantastic designs. So I've got my tech team on standby. And my tech team is actually going to give me some slides. So tech team, if we can get some slides up onto the screen, inshallah, so that we can share with you the fantastic things that we had on the fantastic entries that we had for our modeling clay project. So I've got them right here as well. So I'm just going to have a little look and see what we've got. So the first one that was coming in is quite interesting, right? It started off with people sending in some stuff, and then it started to get really interesting, really exciting. Okay, so we've got, first of all, with our first challenge by Layla Iqbal. Okay, Layla Iqbal, that's absolutely beautiful what you've done there. I think it's like some seashells and some pebbles and stuff like that. Very creative. Love the colours. Absolutely excellent. Tech team, have we got that up? Okay, if we could go on to the next one, please. Okay. So the next one was an aeroplane. Okay, an aeroplane was the next one. There you go. There's Layla's one, Layla Iqbal. Okay, with her seashells and pebbles. Okay, absolutely brilliant. I think those pebbles, I'm guessing they're real ones. Okay, so the next one, okay, let's go on to the next one. Is our aeroplane design, I believe it is. Okay, so tech team, if we can have the next one, please. This is by Khadija, who's 6 years old. Yeah, very, very good effort for a 6-year-old. Okay, making an aeroplane. Okay, I can see the shape. It's really good, mashallah. That's an excellent effort. Let's go on to the next one. Okay, so a Ramadan Masjid. Okay, Ramadan Masjid, alhamdulillah, very beautiful, right? Nice design, excellent colours, and I think what they've actually done there is they've combined, okay, Musa and Harun, they've combined the modelling clay exercise that we did and the paint one. Yeah, that's what it looks like. They might have just used their own paint, but they combined the two. They made a beautiful little masjid scenery there. Okay, let's go on to the next one. The next one that we've got here is a footbridge by Harun and Sophia, and this, it might look like, okay, yeah, it's a good effort, but getting that arch of the bridge is actually quite challenging. The fact that they managed to do that, they've obviously reinforced that with the toothpicks. Excellent effort, well done. Okay, next one, please. So the next one we're going on to, so aliens and planets. Okay, they've even used a little fork or spoon in there as well. Very creative, Sumaya and Saruk, well done to both of you. Excellent effort. Next one, please, tech team. So the next one that we've got, I haven't actually got a name, unfortunately, but it's you can see that it's a tent. You've got a little campfire there, little man outside, tree, very creative. Yeah, mashallah. Right, next one is a rose, I believe. This one looks fantastic. Okay, this one reminds me of, the cupcakes where they have the rose frosting on top. That's what that reminds me of. Okay, Mahal, 11 years old. Okay, by Hannah Mahal, 11 years old. Well done, Hannah. Very good effort. Right, the next one started to make me a bit hungry, I believe. Okay, if we have a look at the next one. Okay, so this was Iftar by Hadra. So Hadra's been doing absolutely fantastic. She's been participating brilliantly with our various projects. So well done, Hadra. Excellent effort. Chicken nuggets, mash, peas, and then like a little what is that? Like a little cake. Okay, for dessert. Mashallah, tabarakallah. And then we've got a winner. Okay. Now, unfortunately, we don't know the name of the winner, but if we can get the winner up, this one here, okay, we have got your number, so you are going to be winning a Amazon gift card, okay, for £20 that you can spend. We recommend you spend it on arts and craft stuff because you've obviously got, you know, a little bit of a talent for it. Beautiful tree design, okay. You got the leaves on the toothpicks, and they even made the bark out of coffee, okay. They used coffee to make the bark, so that's absolutely brilliant, okay. So what we're going to do today, guys, is I've got a really interesting little project in store for you today, okay. This is my my take on flick football, okay, flick football. So I'm going to adjust my camera, inshallah, so that you guys can see, right? Hopefully you can see that a little bit better. Right, so let's have a look. So I've got just a bit of green paper here, okay, which is my pitch, all right. And what we're going to make is we're going to make this little contraption, okay. And what you do is you put it onto your, you put a little ball, which we're going to make. We're going to make the ball. We're going to make the, you know, the contraption to flick it, the catapult, and we're going to make the keeper and the goal. Okay, so we've got loads of stuff happening today. So I'll take my little ball, I'll put it onto the catapult, I'll pull back the lever, yeah, and inshallah, if I line this up right, I'm going to score my goal. Okay, so that's what we're going to be making today. All right, the items that you need, very simple. You know me, I love keeping it household. I don't want you guys to go out and buy anything new. Okay, keep it household. So you're going to need some regular sheets of paper. Okay, we've got a few sheets here, regular sheets of paper. Your trusty sellotape, preferably with sellotape dispenser. Okay, which I love. Bit of tin foil. Rubber band, okay, rubber band, and the final one is just a bit of cardboard, okay. I recommend the sort of like packaging cardboard as opposed to like a cereal box because it's a little bit thicker, okay. So that's what we've got. Let's have a look if we've got any shout outs. So Yasseen's back. Assalamu alaikum, Yasseen, great to see you again. Zaliha, walaikum salam, okay, and Al Hirsi, okay, is there a quiz today? There's a quiz today, 6 p.m. Be there with your family, inshallah. Right, okay. Give me shout outs, guys. Okay, give me your names and I'll give you a shout out, inshallah. Okay, we're going to start off making our football. So simple, okay, so simple. All you need is a bit of your tin foil, okay. So quickly run and grab some tin foil, get somebody to get mum, dad, or you know, guardians to go grab some tin foil for you. All you're going to do, you're going to scrunch it up, okay. So you're going to scrunch it up like this, nice and tight, okay. Scrunch it up nice and tight. Like that, and then I'm actually going to get another piece as well. Okay, I'm going to get another piece to act as a bit of a covering, just to add a little bit of bulk to it. So I'm just going to be scrunching up this tin foil. You don't want it too big. My one here there is pretty big. So scrunch it up, compact it nice and tight as you can. Now what you'll find is it's going to be a little bit bumpy. Okay, so I'm not sure if you can see my one there, a bit bumpy. So you have to work it in. Okay, I'm not going to do it now, just because of time, but you work it in. If you've got solid surface, okay, so I've got my little box here, you can just use the table, yeah, you just work it in like this, yeah, and the more you work it in, the smoother it's going to become, and you're going to end up with a nice little football like that. Even this one could be a little bit smoother, but it's doing pretty good, okay. So that's all you need to do for your football, okay. Stage 1 is complete, right. Now, stage 2, we're going to go on to is the catapult. Now, this is the most complicated bit, okay? It looks complicated, but it's actually quite simple. We are going to go to our cardboard, okay? So you need some scissors. I forgot to mention scissors, right? And you need to cut a little piece out of your cardboard. So I'm going to do it here. Now, the thickness, I'm not sure if you can see, this is actually folded over once, okay? Just to add a little bit more thickness to it, right? So I'm going to cut out my cardboard. This is how many centimeters is this? Oh, I don't know. About 8 maybe, something like that. Don't need too much. So I'm going to cut out my cardboard. There we go. That's all you need. Okay, piece like that is good. Now, you need to know a little bit about the physics of cardboard bending. Okay, so I'm going to move my pitch out of the way and show you. So if you look at your cardboard, you're going to see the little ridges, okay, along there. Now you need to fold it so that those ridges stay straight, okay? Because what that does is that gives it a bit more stability, okay? If you fold it the other way, okay, then it's going to easily bend, right? So I'm going to fold it so that my ridges stay straight. So I'll fold it like this in half, okay? So if you can see in there, right, you can still see the little ridges, yeah, inside. And I've folded it like that, okay? So I'm just going to fold it in half, okay, like this, so you can see your ridges. Right, now, the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to use my scissors to help me out. Now, I need to create in this a little V-shaped dip. I'm not sure if you can see that right there. There's a little V-shaped dip. You see that? Right? So I need to create that V-shaped dip. So how am I going to do that? I'm going to take my scissors and about a third of the way up or so, yeah, I'm going to put them there, and then I'm going to bend my cardboard, okay, over it, like this. Yeah, I'm going to bend my cardboard over my scissors just to give it that little bend, okay? And then I'm going to do it again. Yeah, you can do it both ways if you want, okay, just to get a nice clean bend, okay? And then I'm going to do it again a little bit lower, okay, just a little bit lower. I'm going to bend it again, okay? So what I should have now is two bends in my cardboard, yeah? So it's like a U shape, yeah? You held it up that way, U or a J shape, okay? So your cardboard should look a bit like that, right? So I haven't got the V shape yet. So what I've got to do is I've got to get a V shape in there. So I'll just put my scissors in there, bend them round bend the cardboard round it so that I can get that V shape in the middle, okay? It's a little bit tricky, a little bit fiddly, okay? It's a little bit easier if you're using a surface, okay? Might be able to do it with my hands. There you go. Right, so I've just bent that in there, and I've bent it so I've got a nice V shape in there. Can you see that V? Yeah? See that V shape? So I've bent it so I've got a nice V shape in there. And that is going to, what that V shape does is it provides a little ridge for me to put my paper rod into, okay? So that's what you need that V shape for. So once you've got that V shape, pinch it together, okay? Doesn't have to be too tight because you want to make sure that you can put some paper in there, paper tube in there. And then you're going to use your sellotape, yep, and then just stick this down, okay? Now, if I'm going a bit fast, I know I'm going fast just because of time. This is going to be on YouTube, so you can, well, obviously you're watching it on YouTube now, but it's going to be uploaded and there for all time, okay? So you can just go back and you can watch over it, all right? So I'm going to put a few pieces of sellotape on there just to keep it nice and firm, okay? A couple of pieces of sellotape, keep it nice and firm in place, and then we've got the first section of our catapult. Put that aside, okay? Now, the next thing to do is to create our rods, okay? So if you were with me for the tower building challenge, yeah, we made the rods out of newspaper. It's the exact same concept, but this time we're doing it out of regular paper, okay? So what you need to do is take a sheet of paper, yeah, hold it up horizontally, and then you need to start making your bends. So I'm going to move back a little bit so you guys can see. The way you do this, pinch it a tiny bit at the edge to fold it over, okay? And then you want to fold it over nice and compact, nice and tight, like this, okay? Fold it over, and then keep folding it a few times, okay? So I like to fold it roughly up to about halfway, and you want to keep it as tight as possible, okay? Nice and tight, so that you can, when you roll it up, the rod is strong and it's not going to be flimsy, it's not going to fall down, okay? Because you need it to be able to bear a bit of weight, okay? So, again, I'm doing it a little bit quickly. You guys take the time, make sure it's good, make sure it's nice and tight, okay? Try to keep it as straight as possible so that it's not like, you know, going horizontally. My one's going a little bit horizontal now. Once you get a decent amount of folds, then you can just roll it up, okay? Keep it nice and tight, roll it up, right? So I'm going to roll it up, again, trying to keep it as tight as possible, okay? Rolling it up. So if you have what I've got here, which is the little gaps, just push it against your hand, Yeah, just play about with it. Try to get it a little bit more, you know, even on all the sides. What you can do, you can hold this bit here and then just push on the top, and then sort of like stick it in. Okay, so that's one of my rods. Now, you're going to need probably about, I recommend you make about 3 rods. Okay, make about 3. Now, a little trick: when you put the sellotape on, don't put it right on the edge. Yeah, because you need to make a little cut. So put it a little bit away from the edge. Yeah, like this. You can put one in the middle. Yeah, one in the middle like this, and then another one, just put it on the other end. Okay, so let's have a look at my my comment section. I know I've got a few people hoping for shout outs. Okay, so you guys make your rod as well. I've got a few extra that here's a couple I made earlier. Okay, so I'm going to be using those as well. So who have I got? So I've got the Japanese writing person. Okay, Assalamu alaikum, welcome. Yasine, did you check my clay project? You made it especially for me. Oh, subhanallah. If I haven't seen it, send it in again. Send it in with a message, and then I'll give you a shout out. And Yusra, assalamu alaikum, well done, great to see you. Okay, so now that we've got our rod, we can start making our catapult. So what we're going to do is we take the rod, line it up with your cardboard paper catapult. All right, line it up. You want to have it so that you don't have too much sticking out on the end. Okay, you only want a little bit. So this is like thumbnail, maybe like, you know, half an inch or something like that. Okay, sticking out on that edge, and I want about the same sticking out on the other edge as well. And what you're going to do is you're just going to take your scissors and you just cut that little bit off there. Okay, so I think hopefully about that much. So I'm just going to cut into it. So I've just got a little bit sticking out on either end. Okay, you can see it like that. You don't want a lot sticking out. Okay, you just want a little bit sticking out on either end. Okay, now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to put a couple of tiny cuts into the edge, not big ones. Okay, just a little bit of a cut into the edge. Yeah, I'm going to show you on the camera. And this is so that my elastic band can fit in nicely. Okay, this is so my elastic band can fit in nicely. So not sure if you guys can see that. There's a tiny little cut in there. Okay, and then I'm going to put a little cut on the other side as well. Right, so you have to get in there with your scissors a little bit, and just put in a little cut, just so that the elastic band has somewhere to stick into. Okay, somewhere to bite into. Right, so that should be fine. So I'm going to open it out a little bit on my one, just so you guys can see. You see that little cut there? Okay, and you want to do that on both sides. Right, do that on both sides. So now I'm going to stick this onto my catapult. Okay, so I want the cuts facing up. I'm going to put my catapult down like this. Take a bit more tape. Just take one piece first, just to put it into place. Yeah, and you want to make sure that those cuts are sticking up. Okay, that they're not pointing down. So I'll stick that in place, and then I can start securing it with a bit more tape. Again, you guys take your time with it. Okay, make sure it's right. The first one I did the other day, it was actually pretty good, very sturdy. Okay, that's what you need there. Okay, now let's have a look where we're at. So we're nearly finished with our catapult. Okay, I'm going to take my elastic band, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to thread it onto the edge of one of the first cuts and across to the second cut like that. Okay, I'm going to show you that again. I'm going to put it onto the first cut, and I'm going to thread it across up to the second cut, put it on like that. And then hopefully that's going to give me enough grip to be able to flick that. Oops, that one's gone. Let's go grab it again. Okay, so again, make sure your cuts are deep enough. Okay, you ideally want it to be so that they're not going to flick off. Okay, if they are flicking off, just make your cuts a little bit deeper. All right, so if they flick off, then just make your cuts a little bit deeper, And again, that's why it's important to make sure that you've got it nice and tight, okay? Nice and tight. So you can also put some cuts on the other side, so it really sort of like digs in nicely, okay? So if I put a little cut on the other side, there you go, that's pretty good, yeah? So it digs in nicely, just like that, okay? So let me know in the comments how you guys are getting on, if you've got any confusion. Mashallah, all my brothers and sisters in Islam for their clay project. Yeah, good, well done. Great to see people supporting each other. Yeah, really, really positive. I was so impressed with the clay models that you guys sent in. Okay, it was absolutely inspiring. Because all I was able to make was was the actual clay. I wasn't actually able to make anything that interesting. But you guys actually went out there, made some really interesting stuff. So well done. Right, so this is my catapult. Okay, now the problem with this is when you put your ball on there, it's going to keep rolling off. Okay. So obviously that's balancing on the plastic band. It's going to keep rolling off. So little trick. You need to get, you can just use your thumbs, okay? If you want, just use your thumbs. Or you can use a spoon or something. You need to make a hole, not a hole, like an indent into your cardboard, okay? You make a little indent in the cardboard and you do that just by pushing down into this, okay? So you push down into it and you make a little indent, yeah? Not sure if you can see that. You can see that there's a little bit of an indent in there. Now, the idea is that you make that indent so that the ball can balance in it, okay? So that the ball can balance in it like that. That's the plan, okay? So if we've done this correctly, inshallah, okay? Again, you guys can take a little bit more time. I should hopefully be able to balance my ball. If I find that my ball's not balancing very well, yeah, then I can just make a bit of a deeper indent. And then I can just flick it. Okay, so this one needs a bit more of a push. Make a bit more of an indent in there. Put it on there, and then hopefully I should be able to flick it. A little bit fiddly. Yep. Boom. Okay, just like that. Now, what you can do is you need to add your little lever. Okay, the lever is so simple to make. Okay, just take a sheet of paper, cut a little strip from your sheet of paper, and what this does is this just makes it so much easier to flick. Okay, so cut a little strip, doesn't even have to be that big, just be like that. Okay, little strip, and then you're going to thread it into your elastic band, so it's hanging off like this. Okay, fold it over and then just stick that down. Okay, so I'm going to fold that over, take a little bit of my sellotape, and I'm just going to stick that down onto there, like this. Boom. Okay, now that is going to be my lever, which I can use to pull, and it's actually going to give a little bit more surface area to hit the ball into the goal. Okay, right, we're running out of time, so we're going to have to be quick. How are we going to make our goal? So the goal is very simple. I'm just going to describe it so that you guys can get a good understanding. It's really easy to make. You use your rods, just like we've had here, okay? And then you cut them to size, okay? So you'll take one of your rods, you cut it to make the crossbar. You might have enough to make the 2 posts. If you don't, just use another rod and cut them to make them the size of the goal posts. And then all you do is you just get some tape and then you stick them together, okay? What I've done is I've then put some supporting posts on the ends, again, just stuck them together, yeah, to make my goal, right? So it's literally just taking these rods, yeah, putting them into the shape of the goal, sticking them together, making some supporting rods, and then you've got your goal. And then the final bit, which is the goalkeeper. Again, really easy, okay? But this goalkeeper, I'm going to show you a little bit of a trick with it. So the actual man, you can just cut out of your cardboard, okay? So I've chosen to go with sort of like a foosball, you know, the foosball table style goalkeeper. If you want to have a guy with his arms out or in some kind of like diving position or something like that, that's up to you. You can just cut him out. I've gone for just a simple foosballs type goalkeeper, okay? But the little trick is how do you stick the rod onto the goalkeeper, yeah? or if you look on the back, what I've done is I've flared my rod out. Okay, I've flared it out so that I've got a little bit more surface area to stick on. And the way that you do that is you just take one of your rods, yeah, you take your scissors, you put a cut along the side, yeah, and then you just take your rod and you just flare it out, yeah, like this. Just flare your rod out like that, okay? And then that makes it really easy for you to be able to stick it onto your goalkeeper, okay? This is actually a two-player game, so you can have a brother or sister or somebody operating the goalkeeper, okay? And then you have the other person operating the actual catapult, okay? So I've just taken some green card. You might not have this. If you haven't got it, don't worry about it. It's not essential. And because I'm innovative, I've used a clothes peg to hold up my goalkeeper because I haven't got anybody to play with, unfortunately. Okay, so I've just used that to hold up my goalkeeper, put the ball onto my catapult, yeah, line it up, have a shot, boom, there you go. Have a go, guys. With this one, I don't want you to send in pictures. I want you to send in a short video clip of your best goal, okay? So send in a short video clip of your best goal. We'll put the number up onto the screen. If the tech team could get the number up, put it onto the screen. Take your time with it. Go back over the video, okay? Have a look at my explanations and you can make your own flick football game. It's 0774 777 9925. Make your own little goal, okay? We'll have a little like goal of the month type competition. See who's the best one. Inshallah, that person will be getting a prize. Don't forget tonight, we've got 6 p.m. family quiz. Be there with your families. It's going to be excellent, inshallah. Jazakumullah khair. Take care, brothers and sisters. We'll see you at 6 p.m. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.